All right. Good evening, Danitza. Thanks for waiting. I'm here ready now to start. As always, we're going to continue working. We're going to finish this last part for phrasal verbs, and then we go to the last topic that actually is going to be a review or more just a reinforcement if it's necessary about superlatives, but perhaps it's just going to take us a couple of minutes. And then we can spend the rest of the time, Danitza, in the topic that you said you want to cover from the book that you got in PDF, I believe, and other details that you believe are necessary for you to practice, okay? But before going into these lessons to finish all the contents that we got, I don't know if you have any questions or comments about anything to start with today's activities. Let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions. I related to person, total persons. My it's okay. I only need to I take the final quiz. I think I have 2 hours for that, so I think it's going to be okay. I need to take
All right,
last
so
quiz.
tell me then, I couldn't get the last part.
I will have enough time to take the quiz, the final quiz for the unit.
Let me see. If we are missing that, actually, I'm going to extend the time. No worries about that because we are on time working with everything. So let me change that. All right. If that's the case, I'm going to change it now so that we can start working. All right. Let me check that, please.
Okay. Wow.
So this is the one in Model C. With the assignments, you don't have any trouble, right, Anitza? Or do you need any more time? Because yes, it's just until today. What do you say? Were you able to finish the assignments? I didn't go to that part yet. Okay, so no extra time for the assignments, or do you need some time for the assignments as well?
Yes, maybe because the assignments that I need to, I don't know, I don't know, labs, something like that, are the task with writing parts, because I have been doing this during my lunch period, so I was I know enough time to make a good paragraph to the writing part, so I just let that part. Okay.
So in general, I'm giving you then until Wednesday, right? Because on Wednesday we start with the next course. So you also have until Wednesday for those details, all right? The assignments in general, they are for the 30th, all right? And I'm going to do the same for the quizzes are here. This is part of C. So yes, you already took them. I believe we don't need that. And this is the final one, right? So this is also going to be for Wednesday, the 30th.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, just in case. Sometimes things happen, but just in case you have until Wednesday for both things, all right?
Thank you. Okay.
There you go. Great. Now, we can then start with our, well, actually, we can continue with our lesson. And more than continue, this is just going to be finishing. This is the last chart for phrasal verbs, for separable phrasal verbs. So let's read here, Anita, to finish with this lesson. We are going to read, this is a common one. I don't think that we need that. No, actually, let's put it as part. These three over here are going to be the most important ones and the ones that we use very frequently. Throw something away, try something on, and turn someone or something down. Okay, so let's read the three of them, please, Anitza, the phrasal verb, the meaning, and the example that we have for that.
Okay. Throw away, put something in the garbage. I threw the headphones away because they were broken. Try something on. Wear a piece of clothing temporarily to see if it's the correct size. I really like this dress. Can I try it on? Trying something down, someone down, reject or refuse. She got a job offer from a big company, but she turned down to pursue a career in music. Uh,
Yes, to pursue, right? To pursue a career in music. Okay, yes. So again, these are very common. They are frequently used, separate, all right? Phrasal verbs. Throw away, try on, and turn down. I believe that they are clear in terms of definition and how we use them in examples. So if you don't have questions about them, Anissa, let's go to our document and let's write three examples, right? One for each phrasal verb that you got over here. Okay, so let's do it, or let me know the questions that you have, please.
I don't have questions.
All right, let's work on that then, please. Well, let's have 3 minutes. And if you finish before, please let me know so we can check.
Okay.
All right, so let's check everything. We got more time, but let's finish by checking those examples. Lisa, I'm here with you. Let's see what you got. We're missing some of them, right? So let's try to have at least one more. All right, but if you can finish the two of them, that's going to be great. Let's have again 1 or 2 minutes tops and we check. All right, let's please try to finish those ideas. All right, so I'm going there again. Let's take a look at what we got. And again, we go to the review of a very, very well-known lesson. Let's replace those ideas in it.
Okay. She decided to throw all away instead of being part of a difficult situation. I will not try that dress on. It's so out of time. I don't know if that's the correct expression. You turn him down, and if it's okay for your mental health, that's okay.
All right, good. So that one, I feel the other observation is the one that you don't know, right? You're not comfortable. That is this expression, yes, because you don't say out of time. You have a one expression that is in this case out of date or outdated.
Damn,
All
yeah,
right,
that
you can
I
say
learned that
outdated,
in
but
Pearson's book.
Pearson, this one out of time,
Yeah, no, date. But I
outdated.
don't remember.
Okay,
So,
yes, it is better to say outdated. Also, outdated can be too literal for something that doesn't work anymore. Also, one alternative, if you're talking about fashion, all right, in this case, it's going to be that it's going to be this alternative, all right, and it's going to be old fashions.
Oh,
All right. If you say also that idea over there, it is going to be like more common for this type of idea because you're talking about fashion in a certain way, the way you look. Okay, so outdated, actually I'm making a mistake over here because that's going to be there. Yes, that's only one word. But again, outdated is mainly for technology in most of the cases. All right,
mm,
something outdated is going to be more like technology. You can say that the computer is outdated, the software is outdated, your cell phone, right? Because you don't use it anymore, or because you have recent versions of that idea. Okay, but I say old-fashioned or old-fashioned in this case. Let's see what's it you're giving us over there. Here we have to use that. Okay, so it's not always obligatory because also in cell phone, if you write cell phone, it can be separated together or with a dash. Actually, grammatically speaking, it's going to be correct. Okay, so old fashioned can be separated together or with that dash and it's going to work. But again, I'm saying that old fashioned is better when you talk about the way you look. All right, if you say that it's something old fashioned, it's going to be better in this situation. That's it. Because in terms of using the phrasal verbs, I believe that we are using them correctly. I don't know if you have any other questions, because with this, we are finishing the lesson of separable phrasal verbs. So let me know, please, if you do.
did you understand the last sentence? The last example? I could you improve it? Please.
One more time, please. What sentence are you talking about? I couldn't
Did you
hear.
understand the last sentence? The after you turn him down and
Yes, I imagine that you're saying that to your friend, right? I only have one observation to your friend because that's not a good couple for her, perhaps. And right, it's for your mental health, that's okay. So I imagine again that you're giving a piece of advice to your friend in order to tell her, don't be right with that person. It is okay that you rejected that person and it's good for you. And of course, you say right for your mental health. That's why I understand. I don't know if that's what you wanted to transmit, Denise.
yes, yes, that was what I wasn't sure if the idea was I don't know, well exposed. Yes.
Okay. Yes, in that case, it's better if you say well presented, right? Or conveyed. If you say conveyed, is that the other person has to receive something, right? Conveyed. This is a very, very useful verb.
Convey.
Or you can say well conveyed. Okay, it means like well received in a certain way, or sent in the way in which you wanted to say something. All right. Now, I can make some improvements. Yes. First, here I have one thing is going to be ambiguous in the first part. That is what? It seems that here it is going to be either a very informal way to say an imperative. It can feel that you're saying, turn him down, right? And if it's good for your mental health, that's okay. It's like you're giving an order. If that's okay, good.
Oh,
Then, if it's not, this is the simple present. And remember that the simple present is not the best option for something that happened just one time, because simple present is for routines, right?
yes.
So my idea would be to use the ed over here. Okay, so you're describing something that happened in the past, or even you can say this in present continuous. Okay, so you can say you turned him down, and if it's for your mental health, that's okay, right? That's one alternative. Or you're turning him down, okay, in this moment. That's what you're doing in your relationship. And if it's okay for your mental health, that's okay. All right, those are my let's say pieces of advice over there. Now, in the second part, actually, I didn't realize something. Here, you have ends with a comma, yes, but you have two parts of a condition always, right? you have the clause that is the condition clause, and you have the result. So if it's for your mental health, comma, the result is that that's okay. Okay, so we also need a comma over here. I didn't realize about that one, and it's because this is the second part of your clause. Okay, if you like it, do it. If it's okay for you, call him, right? And so on and so forth. That's it. That's it, Danisa. Thanks for making me notice that. Those are my pieces of advice over there. I don't know if you have any questions about that. Let me know, please.
Okay, about the first sentence, she decided to throw all away instead of being part. This part, being part of a difficult situation. Should you improve the last part of um, uh, after being part of a difficult situation? It's well conveyed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't change this because I would have to change the meaning. You can play with synonyms here. That's the only thing that you can do here. Um, I mean, so you can say being part of a hard situation, of an awkward situation, all right, of a tough situation. So you can play with synonyms. Why? Because this is very specific. Being part of a difficult situation. It's okay like that. The idea of something difficult is clear. And again, if I change something, it's only going to be a synonym of difficult, but that's only necessary if you believe that difficult is an adjective that is not expressing very well what you want to say. Okay? But if it is expressing the idea that you want to convey, then I would leave it like that. And again, I will only play with synonyms because the way it is, again, all right, being, let's say, written, it's good for the context and everything it seems that you want to say. It's okay then. All right, so that's the thing I would say. All right, good. There you go. No, you're welcome. Let's now take a look briefly at, actually, it's already opened. It's over here. Superlatives. All right, superlative adjectives. Now, you know this. This is not new for you. I know because you know complex structures, you know about grammar, and superlatives is something that we learn, right, in basic to intermediate level when we're learning English. But again, let's make this a short review. I'm going to show the presentation, all right, quick. And if you have questions about superlatives, please let me know. And actually, you're going to help me by reading some of the examples. Let's read these for examples, please, in this case.
Okay. Um, he is taller than Peter. He is the tallest in the class. John is more interesting than Oliver. John is the most interesting I've ever seen.
Yes, there you have an alternative. If the idea of interesting what is clear, you can omit that. But here, actually, I would do something. I would say, for example, John is the most interesting person, for example, right? Or partner or co-worker. So you can give an identity to an interesting what. It feels incomplete, and actually, yes, I would do it as well. I know it's not with something like that. But again, it is possible to say like this as well. Yes, it is possible. If the context is clear, it is. But here we don't have a clear context. So again, I would add that in that case. And actually, let's do it because that can create confusion that we don't need. So here, one alternative is just to say right? Of course, we know that John is a person, but it's just to give a grammatical, let's say, strength. It's more, not only more natural, but it feels better. It sounds better. All right. Now, my question here, if you have questions, you can also let me know. Again, this is a simple lesson, but I want you to practice your speaking as well, Danisa, and the way you explain things. So what's the difference between number one and number two? How can you explain in your own words that difference between these two sentences? Only number one and number two.
Well, trying to compare two specific versus one specific person. That's why you use taller than, and you use tallest when you want to compare something that in a specific group, when it is something like that. When you want to make something remarkable, but just
Okay, yes. Yes, and even here we can say yes, compare, because you're comparing a certain way, but you are standing out, right? Something from the rest, right? Or something stands out from the rest of the things or from the rest of the people, right? It's a very clear highlighting, right, in comparison to the other things. So yes, it's comparative versus, right, superlative. In the first one, you compare things, but in the second one, more than comparing directly, you're just showing, right, the best option, right? The thing that again stands out the most. All right. And of course, between number 3 and number 4, it is going to be the same, right? So let's keep going. Again, I'm not going to go into detail about this because this is something that we should know from previous lessons and from previous knowledge that we learned. Now we know the definition, right? When something is the number one, when something stands out. Okay, I'm going to use that phrasal verb because here it fits perfectly. Okay, something stands out, something is highlighted, right, in contrast to other details that are not. And it's always, right, 3 or more things. That's always going to be a requirement. If it's only 2 things that you're comparing, only use a comparative, right? But it's 3 or more, we can use superlatives. We know if they are short, the only difference is that we add the article plus est, right? So just to practice, let's read that chart, please, Danitza, the adjective plus the superlative.
adjectives. Okay, short, the shortest, long, longest, small, smallest, big, biggest, and thin, highest.
And think, no, if you say fine, it's going to be, you say fine, right?
Yes.
Fine. Only thing, because remember the rule is if you have double consonant, it's going to be like the short vowel. So here, thinnest, the thinnest.
Thinnest. Okay.
Because if you say time, it's like tiny, right? It's very small, so it's going to be different. So here, only thinnest. So yes, there you go. These are short adjectives. So with short adjectives, the superlative is only the before the word and est just after the adjective. Very easy. And these are some rules. We know the rules. This is what I said. It has to be with the article the before and the est afterwards. Of course, if it finishes in y and it's a 2-syllable adjective, you use this rule, right? The happiest, the easiest. Okay, even though it's a 2-syllable adjective, we use this rule. Of course, if it ends with e, we keep the e and we add just st. And remember the rule, vowel, consonant, vowel. If you have that combination, you double the last consonant, right? And of course, if it ends with y, you change the y to I and you add est, and that's it. All right, so I'm mentioning that quickly because that should be part of our knowledge. Now, these are some long adjectives. When they are long, we say the most, right? So let's read the same, please, Danitza. Let's read the chart on.
Okay. Beautiful, the most beautiful. Comfortable, the most comfortable. Intelligent, the most intelligent. Awkward, the most awkward.
And that is just one observation in terms of pronunciation. If you see the word, sorry, not the word, the letters A and U together, or A and W together, the sound is always going to be O. O. Exactly. So awkward and the most awkward.
Oh,
All right, so let's repeat the two, please.
Awkward, the most awkward.
Awkward, exactly,
Okay,
right? And
well,
if you
very good.
realize, and it's the same rule as in French, right? In French, also A and U is always O, right? Also here, one very common mistake, remember, in English is that people say automatic, right? Author, for example, or things like that, right? But it's not automatic, right? It's automatic, right? Automatic. Or this word, right? How do you read this word? It is in the chat. I just said it correctly. This one, how do you read that word?
Author?
Author, exactly. So it's not the author, right? It's the author. All right, so AU and AW is going to be the French rule, which is the O sound. All right, so remember that. So that's it. That's extra, right? That's extra. And here, let's actually do it, okay? For example, right in the actually, no, these are just common expressions, all right? We say in the group of place, or you say in the world, in the class, in the house, in Bolivia, right? These are expressions, sorry, for superlatives. Of all, also at the end, for me, for us, for them, for a personal opinion that you got, and I've ever plus one verb in the past participle, right? I've ever seen, I've ever watched, I've ever eaten, etc. Right? That's very common for superlatives. Remember that we have irregular adjectives. Let's read this with you, please, Anita. Let's read the three irregular adjectives that we got.
Good, the best, bad, the worst, far, the farthest, furthest.
Yes, right? You have two variations for far, and it's the same for comparatives, right? It's going to be good, better, the best, bad, worse, the worst, right? Far, farther, the farthest, right? That's always going to be the thing for these three adjectives. Now remember, we got to see participial adjectives with you, Anissa. So we also know that if we have participial adjectives, we always use the long adjectives rule. So we say the must. Let's read these examples, please, to see also the expression we use at the end.
The most interesting movie I've ever watched. I was the most bored person in the group because it was so boring. She was the most amazing girl I've ever seen.
Okay, there you go, right? Expressions that we saw, I've ever watched, I've ever seen, and in that group. Okay, so those are always common things that we use when we talk about superlatives and comparatives. But that's it. Again, as I told you, I just want this lesson to be a quick review, a quick, let's say, reinforcement, because this is not a topic I believe that for you deserves to have more time. But of course, we can in case you have questions about it. But what do you say? We can use this last time to practice in some details that you want to practice or any doubts for this unit that is. But what do you say? Do you have any questions about this lesson or any questions in general about the course? Something that you want to practice in the time that we have left? Let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions about this lesson. About the course in general, no. I know that I need to practice phrasal verbs. All that I know.
All right, good. So, do you still want to check there? Then this is free for you. I mean, we have this 10 minutes, it can be even 15 and maximum 20, but 15 would be great. Okay, so we can finish the class by that time. But what do you say in these 15 minutes? Is there anything you want to practice? Do you want to take a look at the lesson you told me for that PDF? Or we can just practice something related to writing because I have something also that I can make you write. But I would prefer to do something that you want to do as practice. And it's what do you say?
Writing.
Right?
Yes, please.
Okay, Good. Let's do it then as well. Remember what we have to do, and I'm going to give you then some conditions, all right? You have the elements here as always. I'm going to be checking everything that you have here in writing. Okay, remember the commas, colons, semicolons. But this time, actually, I'm going to ask you something specific. I want you to write the beginning of a possible essay. You have a template here, but this template, perhaps I'm going to try to do something, and I'm going to try to give you some extra lessons to write this template, okay? Because I have 3, 4 presentations to know how to write this template. But now, don't try to imitate it because it can be confusing, and I actually want to see how you do it. But this is what you have to do now, Denise. You're going to write the introduction and the first body paragraph of an essay, any essay that you want. And actually, we can decide on the topic together, actually. Okay, but that's going to be the first condition. It has to be 2 paragraphs, all right? The introduction and the first body paragraph. Then we have to use, of course, these transitional words and phrases that we have over here, right? Down below, you have our sequence over here. So you have right first, second, thirdly, afterwards, eventually, next, finally, therefore, briefly, as a final point. And you have other ones to connect, right? For addition, additionally, furthermore, then for example, right? And so on and so forth. You have that for you. I imagine that you have your own list as well. You have to use that for this, let's say, part of an essay and all the punctuation rules that we know. And I'm going to ask you to at least, I want to know how you do it, try to at least use one time a dash, an end dash, and it is here, right? If you go to the explanation for an end dash, it is over here in this presentation that you have in the platform, right? Or on the platform, so it's the last one, yes, dash, the end dash. You only have 2 possible usages to use them correctly in grammar. This that is replacing the usage of comma, and this that is replacing the usage of colon. Take a look at that, okay? But if you know also how to use a dash, let's do it. I believe I mentioned that once, but we didn't practice at least a lot to know how to do it. But that's it. That's my main condition. Now again, in order not to lose a lot of time, so that you have 10 minutes to write everything, in these last minutes, first let me know if you have any questions. If not, we can decide on that topic. But what do you say? Do you have any questions about what I'm asking you? Let me know, please.
No.
Okay, so topic. Give me please 1 or 2 ideas for the topic, Danitza. I'm going to tell you to choose one, or I'm going to add something to that topic. What do you want to write about?
I want to write about pets.
Pets. Okay,
Yes.
that's your topic. Now, I'm going to help you, right? In an essay, at least in a formal essay, academic essay, we need a topic, but we also need a thesis statement. And the thesis statement is going to direct your whole essay. A thesis statement is only an idea that you have related to your topic. So, what is a good idea that you have about pets that you want to show to people that you read your essay? Something that you want to convince or persuade. One example, if my topic is technology or education, or technology and education, my thesis statement can be, I believe, or it is very important to train teachers to know, all right, how to use digital platforms to improve, right, the quality of education. So my topic is education and technology, but my thesis statement is that I believe that teachers have to be trained in order to.
I like your thesis and your topic. I
All
think
right.
it's better than mine.
No, but again, it's just ideas, right? Pets. I believe pets are important. And I believe that if, right, we as humans know how to treat pets, actually it can be even better than technology, right? Because the way you treat other living beings is also very important. So what do you say? Actually, I'm giving you an idea there. What can you tell me about pets? What is important for people to know about pets, but something that you believe and you have to convince the readers that you are right, that you are correct. So what do you say? What idea can you give?
Mm, I think that have a pet is a responsibility, and it's meant to be for uh, a well, this animals are meant to be to help you to, I don't know, even being part of some kind of um, I don't know how I can say that, but like when you are trying to improve your um, your manners or your behavior or your reactions, so they can even help you with that
Okay,
because
so
they inspire tenderness. So I think it's a very complicated topic.
it is, but you can say something about it, and you have to say something, but it has to be clear. You can say, right, remember, it's good stating something like this. It is necessary, right, that we can include, for example, pets, you can say this, as part of, I don't know, right, psychological therapy for some people that don't know. For example, I'm just making something up, all right, using the information that you told me, all right. So it is important or necessary to include pets in psychological therapy to, right, improve the behavior of people that are violent, for example, or that are like this and like that. Okay, I'm giving one example, but the idea that I'm showing you is that you have to state something that is clear, and your
Yeah.
essay, your entire essay, is going to be to show the reader that you are correct. In one paragraph, you can write about a study, right, that shows that the contact, right, between pets and human beings improve, right, the quality of behavior, that they are less aggressive, that they learn how to treat others, right, not only other people, but other living beings, right? They have a different perspective of life, and you can try to look for a lot of studies related to that, but try to work on that. Or also you can make it something more simple. You can say, right, it's important that kids learn how to treat pets in order to be better, right? I don't know, right? Better people in general, or they learn how to develop social skills, for example, right? Because if you learn how to treat, right, a pet or an animal correctly, you're also going to know, right, the limits for someone and to respect, right, another human being or another living being in general. But again, I'm giving you ideas. Try to decide. We're going to use the time until 9:10. Okay, so we're going to have 10 minutes, Anita. Try to think on the topic.
Okay.
Pets is okay, but if you have something and your ideas over there, you can change the topic. Okay, I just wanted to mention the topic to give you ideas for what you can say about it. I don't know if you have any last questions, so that in these 10 minutes you can write the introduction and the first body paragraph of that essay. Let me know, please.
Okay. No,
No?
I
Okay.
don't have a question.
Let's do it then, please. Just in case, I'm going to leave it here with this. And we check, please, in 10 minutes. 10, 10.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so we are already there. Again, it doesn't matter if we didn't get to finish. The idea is that we are, all right, getting well used to doing this. And well, let's see how it works. All right, let's check, please, everything that you got. Let's finish that last idea and let's read, please.
Okay. Okay. In the last few years, pets have been an important part of the development of our society. After the pandemic situations, many families and couples have valued the company of these little creatures, and that is mainly a result of the isolation. Also, has been proved that dogs can lower the stress hormone and cats can help with anxiety and depression. It's important to mention that also the adults appreciate this companionship.
Right? Okay, good. I'm going to give a quick feedback, all right, of the things that are the most important. Copying and pasting that here.
Thank you.
Okay, no, you're welcome. Okay, so in general, it seems to be good. Then again, little by little, I'm going to be showing you these steps that we have to follow. But interestingly, perhaps you also know that we're following an interesting structure here. Okay, but let's go. It says, right, in the last few years, pets have been an important part of society and over there. Here, remember that the pandemic situation is not necessary just after the pandemic, right? Because it is a situation, it has to be a situation. So it's not, let's say, sorry, it's not an important or a necessary right thing that has to be or receive some emphasis just after the pandemic. Then many families and couples right have valued the company of these little creatures, great, and that is mainly the result of days of isolation here. You can say that because you're putting emphasis on being alone, right? And remember the pronunciation, right? Isolation. But that thing had a specific name, right? What was the name of the rule of you not being able to go out because you that's not possible? Well, do you know that name?
I know it's quarantena, but I don't know how you do.
You can say the quarantine. It's also possible, but that is specific thing more than quarantine because the quarantine can have many rules. It is related to the lockdown.
Yes,
Okay,
this is so cool.
exactly. So you can use that there. Okay, it's a result of the. Again, it's good if you say days of isolation because you're putting emphasis on the idea of being alone, but it is directly related to that. Okay, so here you can say of the lockdown as well. And isolation, that's still plausible, right, idea that you can have. Okay, so it's not canceling, that is just giving another idea. Then also remember, if you say has been proven only after a period, that's always going to be incorrect. You need an impersonal pronoun, right? It has been proven. That's going to be either for passive voice or for impersonal ideas. It has been proved. No, it's going to be proven over there. And remember the rule, if you have a clause that starts with that, you never divide that with a comma, right? You don't say, I think that, or I think, comma, that, blah, 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 no. I think that, I believe that, it has been proven that, right? It is believed that, it is said that, it is stated that, with no comma, all right? If you put a comma there, it's going to be incorrect. Okay, so these are going to be two elements. It has been proven that dogs can lower, all right, the stress, or you can say the levels of stress. But again, it's not bad, but this is going to be better, grammatically speaking, all right, the levels of the stress. All right, so they can reduce levels of stress hormone, all right, And cats, this is another idea, right? Because dogs is one idea, and this is another idea. Here, you can have this as plural as they are suggesting. That's another idea. Cats can help, right, with anxiety and depression. Perfect. It is important to mention that also other adults, older, all right? And remember that we have also a name for this one. Let's see the suggestion from Khan. I'm going to see if I agree with this. Okay, that older adults also they are just changing that. But my recommendation goes further. What do you call to older adults? Because I believe that you are talking about a specific population.
Mm, grand something.
No, no, not in that way. You're going to call them the elderly. Okay, the elderly. Okay, so it is important to mention that the elderly also, if you want over here, appreciate this companionship. Okay, this is only if you're talking about that population, and I'm not sure. I imagine that you're talking about that population because if you say older adults, it's just like a comparative way of saying things, and it's understandable, but this is better.
Yes.
All right, the elderly. Okay, so that's it. Again, actually, this is detailed, and I'm mentioning everything that I have to mention. I don't know if you have specific details or questions about this, Anita. Let me know.
No, I don't have questions.
Okay, so remember those details, all right? In pandemic, not situation, not necessary.
Yes.
Here, it's better if you are straightforward and you say that it was a lockdown. And again, you can also say quarantine or quarantine. Okay, both are correct. Remember, it depends on the region, but quarantine are okay. Always pronoun, okay? It's not possible to have a complete idea without a pronoun, without a subject. The
Okay.
past participle of this one, don't divide that clause with a comma, all
Okay.
right? It's never going to be after a comma, a that. Okay, that's never going to be the case. Then levels, that's just something extra, the comma, because of the two complete ideas and the other. So that's it. With that, we're finishing then, Anita. I'm sharing now two polls with you. The first, that is the daily poll, and I'm also being today the last day of classes, right? For this course, I'm sharing the last evaluation for me as well. Okay, so that's one. And this is for today only. Okay, so there you go. Thanks for being in this class. On Wednesday, we'll continue by starting the new course that is going to be A10. Okay, see you then. Have a good night and see you on Wednesday.
Thank you. It's okay.
You're welcome. Take care, Denise. I'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye bye.